All right. Well, we got Jamie, who's calling in from Texas. Jamie, you're live on Truth Wanted. What's up?
Hello there. Another fellow Brit in America.
Oh, Jamie.
Shit.
And I'm
Listen, tired of these Brits coming into America. All right. Ridiculous.
Oh.
It's a crisis.
I want you to say only British words.
They're taking our jobs. We don't like it.
Cool.
Taking all the tea prices here have skyrocketed since you guys have come in. Sorry, I was giving my joke at the same time you were giving yours.
Oh, I was just going to say I could just put on my strongest Birmingham accent because that's where I'm from.
Oh, he's a Brummie. He's a Brummie, right? Yeah, go for it then, mate. These guys have no idea what we're saying now.
I don't speak Klingon. No, it's not my thing. But anyway, Jamie, what do you want to call in about?
Okay, I'll get to my point, Ross. So, again, this is you say, what do you believe, and get your opinions on it. Now, this is an observation, a quote-unquote hot take. From living here for a few years, I've noticed that one of the aspects of American culture that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get over, because it's been so distorted, especially in recent years, but I think it goes back a long time, is that there's the lionization of concepts like freedom and liberty and choice. You know, it's literally the, land of the free, But all of the freedom is constrained. All of the choices are illusory. And it's incredibly damaging because it stops people from trying to affect change. One of the major talking points that's stopping us from getting proper universal health care in America is that people don't want their choices taken away. It's the government. It'll only be one choice. Ooh.
Right.
Yep.
And I'm like, but you only do have one choice because it's the cheapest insurance you can afford, usually the one that you get through your job, or spend more money, which only rich people can do. So there is no choice, really. Not really.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just wanted your opinions on that. Have you observed that, John, as a British implant?
So I have been thrown in at the deep end because I wasn't allowed to work when I first got here. So if I got sick, I would have had to have relied on my wife to have anything done. It does seem, and I don't want to insult anybody because I love living in this country and I wouldn't have come here if I don't want to live here, but it does seem quite backwards, the whole way that healthcare is dealt with. And you would know, Jamie, because you're from a place where they do a universal kind of free healthcare. It's not free. People pay for it, but it works over there. And you can not always get an appointment straight away because there's lots of people using the system, but it's free. That's the main thing, that it's free. And yeah, I've noticed that people, I've got a bit of a story. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it, but I'm going to mention it. It's that the whole healthcare system here is very money hungry. And I'm aware of situations where doctors will take the most expensive route on purpose because they just want to get money and into the hospital. And it's quite sickening. It's shocking in a way. So yeah, I'm a witness to it. But what can we do? What can we do as two little British people in this country? What can we do to help guide the government to doing something for everyone that would make sense for everyone? And like you say, it's not just the government. It's the people going, well, I don't want to pay healthcare, like a premium healthcare for everybody else. I just want it for me. I just want this thing for me. Whereas if everybody just paid, I don't know, $75 a year, everybody in the country, however hundreds of millions of people there are here, that's a lot of money that could pay for the healthcare in this country,
Well, healthcare spending in this country is exponentially higher than anywhere else because it's a for-profit industry. I pay as much out of my paycheck, and my employer pays as much out of the money they pay me in not only Medicare taxes, because we still pay towards Medicare, Like, we still pay tax towards Medicare, but we're also paying to private insurance companies. And that total amount is more than the national insurance payment I was paying back in England. So I'm paying more for less, and I've still got to pay co-payments and deductibles and all this.
Right.
Deny me service. Oh, I don't get an ambulance. They're not covered. That'll be several $1,000s.
Yeah.
And sorry,
Jamie, can I interrupt you here? Yeah. So it's like, I gotta tie this in, because this isn't like the politics in the morning show, but this is Truth Wanted. So here's how I tie this in. Okay. Here's how I tie this in. There is a religion in this country that isn't Christianity, and it is American exceptionalism, right? So like in the very roots, at least the myth that is told in this country, right, is that, you know, people came across boats, party people, they went across the ocean and then across this country, settled into this land, built it themselves, did everything themselves without anybody's help, and built this country based on these ideas of, like, you know, liberty, freedom, stuff like that, right? Some stuff which I would say, like, yeah, like freedom and stuff in a vacuum, I don't know if is good or bad. That can mean a lot of things, but like for the most part, maybe is good, right? Like most people would agree, like liberty is a good thing, freedom is a good thing. You get that, but at the same time, you miss out on what could actually be better for you if you understand the context of working together in a group or working together on things that you couldn't do for yourself. This show, for example, is not just run by hosts, or any of the atheist shows are. It's run by a lot of crew, a lot of people. And Americans, they think that they're like the show hosts. They think that everything is on them and they have to do it. But really, there's a whole backbone of government in this country that actually gets a lot of shit done that people don't realize. And like that has so many ties into religion. It's not even funny. Like how much does evangelicalism and fundamentalist, you know, beliefs in particular have also tied into this American centric ideals is quite palpable. I remember in college, my media studies professor showed a clip of Joel Osteen's church, and it was like panning around the whole church. He was giving some sermon, and in the back of the church there was an American flag, and he paused the video and he was like, "Why is this there? Why is this flag there?" And like, it just kind of opened my eyes a little bit. It was just like, yeah, why is the American flag in the church, right? Because Jesus wasn't an American. And unless you're like one of those prophecy people, like the Bible does not talk about America. So what does that have to do with it? And it's like, we do believe like the principles of liberty and freedom are also inherently Christian ones. Like people will tie that in. It's crazy. And it becomes the overwhelming dogma. I don't know what I'm trying to say with this, just that there is a through line here. There is a through line, you know?
There is. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent about policy. I do want to keep it towards belief, and I also would like to say, just to sort of temper the argument a little bit, temper the thing, that like religion and religious dogmas, the lionization of freedom and choice and liberty can be a force for good. On an individual level, I have rarely met people who are as generous and self-sacrificing and welcoming and polite as Americans, especially like in the Southern hospitality is a real thing. Like they'll welcome you in with open arms.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
But also, Jamie, also low key, you're also British. Dude, you're also British. Americans love British people.
That does help us.
Look, if you were of a darker skin tone and did not have an accent that people might find appropriate or adorable, like that they may treat you differently. Like there's just a precedent for that, you know. And I've seen it happen. Well, like as an American,
this was the joke. This was the joke when I was going through my immigration procedures, and you have to keep your cards on you. Because if you don't have them on, you can get in trouble. It's like, I'm not going to get in trouble. Why? Because I'm not beige.
Oh,
yeah.
And it's kind of that true. Like the cops aren't stop me because I'm just another chonky white dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Right. I guess what's the through line here? I mean, like principle, like unquestioned belief in American exceptionalism and American supremacy does give you a false sense of like what we're capable of on our own as a people, right? And like this idea, you brought up a great point about choice, what we really have, and like you can't even get abortions in this country anymore.
Right.
You know, like we don't even celebrate choice in every aspect, just in the ones that like white Christians think is appropriate. Honestly, like it is a predominantly white Christian paradigm
Right.
that has run the narrative in this country of what is
And
supposed to be good.
Are you a believer or a non-believer, Jamie? I'm sorry to ask that question.
I am a staunch atheist. Completely.
Oh, okay.
skeptic.
Yeah. So you probably get
one of yours, John.
Yeah, I'm clearly a non-believer, but I don't know how it works for you. But when that comes up in conversation in the South, because I also live in the South, I live in Kentucky, and when that comes up, the attitude changes ever so slightly.
And the fact that it's so pervasive. Here's again, I don't want to take up all your time, but I will segue here to religion as a culture shock to a British person, because we're quite secular. Considering that the national anthem's first word is God.
God, right.
Secular as a society. But I work for a call centre for a large cancer charity. And the amount of people who sign off the phone by saying, "Have a blessed day."
Sure.
Yeah.
And
what do you even say to that?
Not happen in the UK. Thank you
No.
for what you say.
No.
Really? That's interesting, though. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but like that's such a common phrase here. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's
got to be a good counter for that, though, but not like an offensive one. I'm all about not being offensive to folks. I like to leave them as they leave me. So, if someone's going to be nice to me, I'll be nice back. And have a blessed day. I understand the why that would be said, but there's got to be something we can say back that has like equal connotation, but without the religious back. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Leave be upon you.
My standard sign off is thank you, and you take care now, right?
Yeah, there you go.
You can still be blessed.
You too.
Yeah.
Maybe you are blessed.
Yeah.
I'm # blessed. Like just I don't know. But yeah, I that is interesting. I am it is funny because you look at the history of the UK and that really wasn't always the thing. Like I mean, you guys. I mean, not saying you guys, but like the reason why there's a monarchy, or at least a justified in a lot of people's minds, it's because it's the will of God. Like that was definitely a thought process for a long time.
Oh yeah,
and that's just racial supremacy in a different form. That's just saying I'm God's chosen people, and like in any other context, that sounds really bad. But like that's what it was for a while. Obviously, that's not what a lot of people believe today, but it's there. The history's there.
Yeah.
And I'll give you one last observation, and then because I could literally talk for hours, because I like it's Brit to Brit. But anyway,
right.
Brit to Brit communications.
The English, according to Anglican, and that means Episcopalian doctrine, God's representative on earth just died, and nobody in England cares. They care that she died because she was cool and she was the queen and she was awesome. I'm not particularly a royalist, whatever, but no one's like, oh no, God's chosen one, and the mantle has passed to her son.
Right.
We don't care.
Oh, man.
Like, our Pope just died, and no one cares.
Man, yeah.
Anyway,
man, lots of hot takes on the Queen. Thank you so much, Jamie, for calling in.
Thanks, Jamie,
and giving your perspective. Last week, Aaron was on the show, and that day, I remember asking, so like, are we going to talk about the Queen? And she was like, yeah, I want to talk about the Queen. I was like, hold on. I think we have the same opinions, and I think our takes might be too hot for the British people who watch our show. I don't know. But needless to say, we're not royalists. Okay, we're not royalists. We don't feel that type of way. But I don't know. It's an interesting situation.
I love the Queen. I will always love the Queen.
I like the band.
They're
They're pretty good.
Oh, I was talking about the band.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Don't stop me now.